What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Moto Aftermath Show, Fantasy Supercross Show. It's the most uninformed Fantasy Supercross show on whatever the interwebs. Want to thank our sponsors real quick. So on board with us, Energy Fuel, Premier Custom Trailers, TLR Coatings, Holester Co, Alias Sports, The Dirt Bike Depot, JT Cycle, Adept Creative Co, Gutter Works, Isaac Nelson Designs, and Clutch Media. We are here to talk Fantasy Supercross. We are going to wrap up our first Triple Crown of the year from Glendale. We are going to talk picks for Anaheim 3, the last West Coast round for several weeks here. Now, luckily for all of you, I am a super committed show host, and I make sure these shows happen every single week in and week out, no matter what. I forego some family stuff. I forego work stuff. I stay up late. I get up early, and I make sure that these shows happen. However, some of us involved here are not committed. First off, being Supercross only, the one, the only, Cole Ugetti, number 191. Look him up on Instagram at CUgetti191. He is not with us tonight because he made some other plans. So I would like everyone to go drop a DM to Cole. Tell him how much he sucks for not being on the fantasy show tonight. Not sure if he's making the Sunday show either. Everybody kind of decided to bail out. They wanted to go watch football or some dumb shit like that. Honestly, I haven't given a fuck about football my entire life, nor will I start now. The Bengals are going to win. I just want to put that on record.
Ooh,
so,
I like it.
I'll just put that out there. Having not watched a single game of football this year. I haven't watched a single game of football in probably like 5 years, to be honest with you. Don't care. Could care less. If I want to take a nap, I'll watch something with wheels on it and fall asleep. Probably like, I don't know, NASCAR or something. Not stick and ball sports. Now, on the line with me, with only a slightly higher sense of commitment than Cole, but still choosing to take a hot, steamy dump on the chest of the show, even though the show has always been there for him, but he's not always there for the show. The original co-host, even though he took a sabbatical for a while and did not come on the show because he was quote-unquote busy taking hot, steamy dumps on top of the show's chest, it is the one, the only, Justin Hartzell. Hi, Justin.
That was a great tirade. I liked it. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Did
tirade.
You like that?
That was awesome.
That was probably one of the best intros I've given you guys ever.
that was so great. I also like that Bengals pick, bud. Yep, they are going to win.
Hey, just remember, the show is always here for you, okay? Even after you shit on the show's chest time and time again, the show is always here. It is committed like you don't even know, okay?
Okay, so that's like 10 times now. All right, cool, I got it.
The show is here for you.
Okay, 11.
You can just shit on the chest of it, but it's here. So anyway, all right, enough of that. So
God.
For everyone who doesn't know, we play Fantasy Supercross on PulpMXFantasy.com. So put the thing up here on the screen. That is our gosh, I can't talk now. I'm brain fading hard because I'm just thinking about the lack of commitment and how you're shitting on the chest of the show all the time by not showing up. Yeah, our league is on the screen, or has been. It's off now, by now, guaranteed. Our league is up on the screen. It is Moto Aftermath Show League. Make sure to go on, sign up, create your team, join the league, go to Instagram, follow us on Instagram, DM us your team name, and you could possibly win one of our weekly prizes or one of our year-end prizes. So weekly prizes are provided to us by Alias Sports. So we have some nice little CBD gift bags for everyone. And then our year-end prizes, we have jerseys we're giving away, we have gift cards we're giving away, we have t-shirts we're giving away. We got all sorts of cool shit going on for giveaways at the end of the year for the top 3. I even have this sick number one plate that's going to hang on my wall after I win our league for this year. But anyway, if you think you can beat me, you can join the league and you can try to beat me, and I will send you this plate if you do. But anyway, so we are, like I said, wrapping up the Glendale round, which was our first Triple Crown round. If you didn't have 8, because 8 is great in the race because you didn't pay attention, well, then you just kind of shit on your own chest, much like Justin shits on the chest of the show all the time. And you probably should quit playing fantasy. But anyway, so congratulations to Kentucky 899 with a score of 312 points. He won our league for the Glendale round, so great job there, buddy. Let's see. Oh, Jesus Christ, I'm hitting stuff I shouldn't. Let me scroll down here. Let me find my name. I don't know where the hell I'm at. Oh, man, am I on page 2? Oh, man, I'm on page 2.
Boo.
Hey Justin, why don't you go ahead because you were the big winner here for the week. So who was your team for Glendale?
So for Glendale, I don't know where I finished as far as like rankings in the league, but I had 282 points. My overall rank was 888. For 250s, I picked 2 guys that will probably not make a main for the entire rest of the year. Wyatt Linesmith with 38, Jaron Stapleton with 42. I had Vince Friese as my all-star at 26. And Jerry Robin decided to actually show up for me for the first time in life, 52 points. And then in my 450s, I had Mr. Chase Sexton, who I almost, tracked him down and beat him senseless because he was going to lose me a bunch of points. But he got me 26. I had Cade Clayson with 34. I had Kenny with 36 and Justin Brayton with 28 for a whopping 282 points. And I was happy with it.
Well, great job. You won the week. So between us morons that play for this podcast, good job on that. I maintain the course. My goal for the year, as I've said before, and I will say it again, I need to score 230 to 260 points per round, and I will be right in it at the end of the year. So I scored 238 points, which was pretty low. I think I was like 7,000 and something in the overall, which is fine. No big deal. We're going to have some weeks like that. The point is that I know what the average needs to be right there at the end, and I am still in it 5 rounds in. So for the 250 class, I had, Wyatt Linesmith with 38. I had Stapleton with 42. Then I went with Dylan Walsh, and he got me 32. And then my all-star was Hunter Lawrence, who got me 26, obviously. Then in the 450 class, I had the guy coming on the show this weekend, Mr. Ryan Brees, who got me 26, so that was not great. Wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. I would have liked a few more, but the scores in the 450s were pretty low. We'll get to that in a second. I then was like you. I had Cade Clayson for 34 points. Again, not great, but he was like the second highest scorer in the 450s. I had Stu as my all-star with 26, and then I had Justin Brayton with 28, and we all know about Brayton's crash at the end of the last main there that really got him. Now, as far as 250s went, there were a few people that scored higher. So Marchbanks got 46, but I was never picking Marchbanks. Let's keep scrolling here. Sorry, I know I should have this written down. Jerry Robin, like you had, got 52. I'm totally out on Jerry. There was no way I was ever picking Jerry, so like I can't be mad because even though as juicy as he is, even more juicy than the dumps you take on the chest of the show, even though the show is always here for you, Justin, it's just way too big a risk. Like I know he made it, and like he was a 16 handicap? Yeah, 15.
Yeah, so like that's the one. So I don't understand. So okay, you're probably gonna go and explain like that logic though like would normally make sense, but in this case, man, I don't really understand where you're coming from with that. Because even if he doesn't start the main, he still is gonna get like better points than 95% of the dudes that you're gonna pick.
I know, but you know where I tried to, I kind of didn't listen to my own advice and screwed myself here because the reason I went with Walsh is listening to the actual Pulp fantasy show. They were talking, they had some facts on there about how in the last however many Triple Crowns, the like top 5 highest scorers in both classes in all of them have been guys who have had like 5 handicaps or less. And so I looked at a few of the guys with Lionsmith and Stapleton who had like the 16s, and I was like, okay, cool. Yeah. And then I looked at Jerry and I just went, dude, I have vowed never to pick him. I'm a man of principle. And so I stayed off of him. And I kind of thought okay, if I go with someone like a Walsh, he'll yank some decent starts. They're only 10-minute mains. He'll get some top 10s and boom, he'll end up well inside the top 10. I think he had a 5. Was that what it was? A 5 handicap or something? Let me see.
Yeah, he had a 5 handicap for 2 weekends in a row.
Yeah, so I'm like, dude, this will score me some really good points. And then it just didn't quite work. Again, I nailed in my score. And what actually hurt was I'm actually 14 points down. I should have been a 252-ish, but I picked some FFLs. And, of course, I had Vince Freeze and Ken Roxon for my FFLs, thinking okay, there's no whoops before the finish line. So Vince should be able to yank a start. His bike's good. He should be able to do all the rhythm he has to, and he should be able to hold him off for 3 straightaways, right? Obviously, with everything that's happened, that didn't happen. And then Kenny, who knows what the fuck was going on with Kenny?
Eli Tomac was just faster.
Well, yeah, that's a thing too. So yes, you are right. I should have gone with Jerry probably, but no regrets over here. It was a matter of principle. Okay, it was a matter of principle.
Logically, or normally, I would be totally on board with that because I will never pick Jerry other than a Triple Crown, and when I know he's in for sure because he's bit me too many times. Like back in 2019, I think I picked him 3 different times in Supercross, and he never made a main. And then I even decided to be even dumber and pick him in outdoors. And obviously, he made the motos. So obviously, he's significantly better outdoors. And he would go 15-40 or 15 DNF. But the thing though is that even for Dylan Walsh, who we know with the trend that he's been on, he can he's faster than Jerry pretty much straight up. But the problem is with a 5 handicap, to level it out, he has to get 12th or better, and that's just banking on Jerry not even finishing any of the motos. And I just was not willing to bet that there was not going to be one main that Jerry wasn't going to, that he was going to at least finish.
Yeah, I would not make that bet ever because Jerry will Jerry
that's
all the time.
That's the thing, though.
I know.
The thing, though, is, so, normally I would be totally on board, and I'll never, like I said, pick Jerry again unless I know for sure he's in the main. But as far as, if I know he's in a Triple Crown and he has that high of a handicap, the chances of Dylan Walsh being 12th or better every main compared to Jerry just getting 21st, it's literally unlikely. It's just not going to happen. So, yeah, no, totally be on board with you if it's a regular main, definitely, or a regular race, definitely not going to dispute that. But at a 14 handicap, dude, there was no way I was not going to pick Jerry because I'm like, dude, he just put together for one race.
Yeah.
He's going to get me close to full points.
Look, when I get to the end of the year and I miss winning everything by 20 points, then I'll look back at the first Triple Crown and go, God damn it, you should have picked Jerry.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm still in my zone, and like I said, I zigged when I should have zagged, and here we are.
Yep.
So whatever. 450 wise, the scores are super fucking low. The high score in 450 was Ken Roxon at 36. I looked at him because he was a non-all-star, but honestly, Kenny has been so not Kenny after A1 here that I'm like, dude, I cannot, because he was, what was he, a 0? Yeah, he was a 0 handicap.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, one thing goes wrong. He's out for the night, and I'm fucked.
Well, the problem is in the 450, and we're going to talk about this in a second when we do our picks for this weekend, is because all the dudes that had really high handicaps that would you would assume would normally, because there was a few guys that had made quite a few mains that just didn't make it in through the LCQ. None of them made it in. So you were looking at Kenny, and then like I said, you were looking at Clayson, you were looking at Norin. But that's the thing though is Norin had an 11 handicap, and even Brees. So with a 10 handicap, okay. He's normally an 18 to 22 guy, and the chances of him finishing better, no disrespect to Brees. I like Brees. I've even talked about Brees being a normal main guy. The chances of him doing better than 18th is highly unlikely. So it's all the dudes that had really high handicaps, they didn't make it. They didn't make the main. Mm-hmm. So, and that's the problem. That we'll just go into with A3 this weekend. And God, I can't wait for the East Coast next weekend. I don't know if you've looked, but dude, the 250 class this weekend, slim fucking pickings. Slim fucking pickings.
I feel pretty confident in my 250 team. The 450.
No, that's fine. You can feel confident, but what I'm saying is the slim pickings part. What I'm meaning by that is, I will be shocked if the high score person in the 250s this weekend, if it's actually pretty fucking high. Because looking at a lot of these handicaps, dude, there's no fucking way. Because like a lot of the dudes you could roll the dice on, the chances of them making the main are like Nikkei Theory is like a 7 handicap at a 16 last weekend. There's no fucking way he's a high pick trend. There's no fucking way because that dude's missed 2 mains this year.
Yeah. So, well, speaking of, we might as well move on to our picks here so we can get through this. So A3 picks, 250 class. Right now for my team, I have Caden Amarine at a 13. I got Christian Craig at a 1. Give me that all fucking day long. And I got Logan Carnow at a 7. And I got Ryan Surratt at a 10. And I'm going to hit Surratt up tomorrow and make sure everything's cool. Because I know he had that crash at, what the fuck was it, A2 or whatever. And I know he was getting his shoulder worked on a little bit or something. So I'm going to hit him up tomorrow, text him and be like, hey, how we feeling for this weekend? And just see what he says. But yeah, so that is my team. And I feel pretty positive with the attrition rate going on there and stuff. Amarine has made mains. It's not consistent, so I'll see what he looks like. But it's pretty easy to tell because, like, last week he didn't look that good. A2 in practice, he looked really good. Like, you could watch and see the confidence.
And that's what I'm even saying, though, is even looking at your team outside of if Amarine just, like, fucking has the night of his life, your score, if you go off a normal weekend for these guys, say all you guys making the main. What I'm saying is, unless Amarine just, like I said, pulls some shit out of his ass, your score is really not even going to be great, even if all your dudes make the main and they just have good nights for them.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, Carnow's at a 7, and I'm even looking at him. Carnow has pretty much been a 14 to 19 guy, and he's missed 2 mains already this year. Yeah. So unless, like I said, my point is that even if these guys make all the mains, unless they just have, for whatever reason, all of them have the night of their life, the scores are going to be high this weekend.
Yeah, for sure. So who you got on your team?
So I also am going to go with the Logan Carnow. Like I said, I'm just looking at it, and there's some other guys with higher picks, but I can't trust that they're going to make the mains. I'm looking at Carnow at a 7. I like that. I like Joe at a 4 for my All-Star. I am going to pick him yet again, even if he, just looks average in practice. I'm going to pick Justin Rodbell again. He's got me at a 13 handicap. Got me really good points last time I picked him. I think it was A2 that I picked him, and I think he got me in the 40 range. Mm-hmm. So I got him. And, man, I really don't want to do this because he's burned me already once this year. But after the way his weekend went in Glendale, I think I'm going to have to pick Garrett Marchbanks at a 0.
Oh, bold move, Cotton.
Man, I'm just looking at this, though, and I would like to pick Dylan Walsh at a 4. But the thing is he's literally been an 11 to 12 place guy. Like, that's it. Like, that's literally he's been 11th to 12th the last 3 weekends. Mm-hmm. And at a 4 handicap, if he gets 12th, I guess he'd be the other guy that if Marchbanks just looked like ass in practice that I would swap him out for. But, dude, that's the thing. Outside of Amarine, like, okay, you got Derek Kelly at a 3, and he's had 3 good weekends now. But once again, it's Derek Kelly, so you just don't know. Yep. Carson Brown is an all-star now, so, like, can't pick him that's worth a shit because who cares if he gets you 26 points. So, I mean, like I said, I guess I'm looking at Joe. I'm looking at Carnow. I'm looking at Marchbanks and Rodbell, and Dylan Walsh is the only other person I'd be looking at taking because, like I said, the picks aren't great, bro. I'm just going to be real honest with you. Like, they're just not.
What about,
like, plain and simple.
What about a safe pick of a Jalik Swoll at a -2?
I mean,
he's got to
be
8th or better.
Yeah, but okay, so say he gets 8, though, so then you're getting 10th place points. I'm not really excited about, like, yes, they are points, but my thing is now that I've made up so much ground in the last 3 weekends, like, now I'm not trying to just go for, the dude gets me points. Like, I actually want good points. And what happens if Jalik just pulls a Jalik and he gets 13th? Then you're just fucked.
Yeah.
You know, and Surratt's a good at a 10th, at a 10 handicap. Mm-hmm. And, obviously, I like Surratt. But the problem is that I just don't think he's going to be I don't think he's a consistent main guy after what he did at A2. I think his shoulder's fucked.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. Like, Amarine would be good. But once again, though, like you said, he's made mains, but he's inconsistent. Yeah. So, like, even when he's looked good in practice, I don't know. Like right now, I think that the picks for this weekend they're not going to be high picks. Like plain and simple, the scores are not going to be great.
Yeah, probably not, man. Probably not. So, all right, moving on to 450s then. So 450 team here, I have, and see, this is where I'm happy because I kind of zigged on some stuff last week on the 450 side, so I have some people to pick this week. So I got Jason Anderson as my all-star at with a 3.
Okay.
I have Justin Bogle at an 8. I feel like his trajectory is upward. He's getting his program back on track here after a rough start to the year. So I feel good about that. I got Chiz, who will Chiz, at an 8 also. And then I almost missed this, but I scrolled, luckily. I got Aaron Plessinger at a 1.
Who?
AP.
Oh, at a 1?
Yep.
That's ballsy.
I mean, there ain't a lot going on here. You got Brees, who is red on my screen, with a 10, so that's okay. Anstie has some sort of injury going on, and he's a 4, so I'm out on that. Brayton is a 5, so that might be okay-ish. Can't pick Clayson.
Yeah, but we both picked him, though, didn't we? You picked it. I picked him, and didn't you pick him, too?
Who, Cade?
No, Brayton.
Oh, yeah. You got Dylan at a -2, but, man, that is such a roll in the dice. That's almost as big of a roll of the dice as it is picking a like a Clayson at a 13, because like Dylan could go out and win the race and get you double third place points, or Dylan could get 19th because he wads himself in the whoops and like get you 0 points. So I don't know.
Yeah, negatives are always kind of hard. Even if they're. I don't know. I've never had good luck with anything with negative. Like 0 handicaps, I've gotten 52 points before, but I've never had good luck with anybody that's in the negative. It doesn't matter who it is.
Yeah. I mean, the other person I had on my team before I put AP on there was Alex Martin at a 9. I mean, he's a main event dude, but again, that's getting a little sketchy. So who you got on your team there?
I have Ando as well.
Okay.
I'm all on board with that as a 3 handicap for an all-star. I mean, we pretty much know where his speed's at and where he is amongst the guys right now. He's pretty much podium, unless his fucking, clutch or fucking radiator cap or whatever the fuck went wrong. Like, we'll never know. But whatever. Outside of that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's a podium guy. So let's be honest. Like, the chances of him not getting you 26 points are highly unlikely at this point.
Yep.
So I'm on board with that. I am going to go with Alex Martin at a 9, and honestly, it's only because of how slim the pickings are with these guys right now. Like normally, I picked him earlier this year. He got me decent points, but I'm looking at a lot of these guys, and there's certain guys that I don't trust. Where with Big Al, like we know that he's a main guy now, and he's pretty much going to be a 14 to 18 guy. So if I luck out and he gets 15th, like I'm going to get 6th place points. So I'm fine with that with an A mark. I think I'm going to have to go Shane McElrath at a 2. He's been 10th the last 2 weekends, so I would rather take him at a 2 than roll the dice on a Bogle at an 8. And even though I think Bogle could get 15th, Bogle could also get 20th. So
yeah,
I'm on board with that. And then my last guy, man, if this was 250s, I would definitely be not all about it. But I think I'm going to have to go Mitchell Oldenburg at a 5. He got 13th last weekend. I think that the 450 calms him down quite a bit. I think he's proven that every weekend that he's raced the 450 now. I mean, he's been in the main every weekend that he's raced, other than that one weekend that he was having personal issues. And he's pretty much been 11 to 15th place guy. So if he gets even like 12th to 13th, once again, I'm okay with those points because I'd just much rather go with a guy that I know can be a 10 to 15 guy than roll the dice, like I said, on a Bogle. Yes, maybe he does get you 15th and you get 7th place points, but he also, like I said, he's had times this year where he's gotten 20th or hasn't even made the main. Chiz is really good at an 8, I think so, because his best finish this year, I think, is 14th. But once again, though, like, we just got to know how stacked the class is, even though some guys are, Max has some injuries and shit. Some guys are kind of starting to already settle into their normal tendencies. You just can't bank on that. And even as much as I love Chiz, like We just know that his speed is not going to be, when everybody's feeling it, we know that his speed is just not on par with those top guys anymore. So I don't know, man. I'd rather just go with the guys I got. So like I said, I'm going to go Ando, Oldenburg, Amart, and who's the other person I fucking picked? What the fuck? Who did I have? Ando, Amart, yeah, and McElrath. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not really confident this weekend. I'm ready to go to East Coast and get some fresh picks in the 250 class. But remember how we were talking about this 3 rounds ago with the 450s where the picks, like the handicaps were all over the place? Yeah, it's showing out the door quickly.
Yeah. No, it's really they're getting good with their handicap committee here, getting stuff kind of dialed in. So
it's not going to be good, man. It is not going to be good. Like other than when we go east next weekend, when we get a fresh new set of picks or fresh new guys, and the class is a lot deeper and you have more to choose from. The 450 shit's going to get real tough real quick to pick guys, especially like now that guys have kind of settled into where they are as far as like where they're finishing.
Yeah.
And we don't have any outside privateers that are making it in consistently. I honestly think when we get down to this at the end of the year, at the last round, it's going to be all based on how consistent you were with your 450 picks, because the 250s, we know that you could roll the dice and you could kill it. But right now, with the way these 450 picks are going, and especially like if we have a trend of the guys finishing in the same spot the next couple weekends, like with Anderson and Eli and Malcolm or whatever, their handicaps are even going to start getting lower and lower. So like that means that everything's going to change for the other guys that aren't the top all-stars.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, this 450s it's going to get real tough after the next 2 weekends.
Yeah, it is. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I think the scores are going to be lower this week than normal. Just because.
I'd be willing to bet that like my 282 being 888 this last weekend. I bet if anybody you score at 282, you're going to be like in the top 100. I'll be really shocked if it's not.
Yeah, you and me both. So, any FFL? No FFL?
No, I mean, at this point, I think the only guys you could really pick is, since all of a sudden Eli Tomac decided to learn how to start a dirt bike, Eli or fucking Craig. I mean, Freeze maybe. I haven't seen the track map, and I really don't care at this point. Like, we kind of have an understanding of like where these guys starts are.
No. Freeze is out. You literally, it's a long start straight almost across the entire stadium, and then it's a left-hander. You go down a short chute that's just flat. It's a right-hander, little like scrub double, and then whoop section, long whoop section. And then
it's going to be.
Then I don't know beyond that, but you go like almost a whole lap before you even get to the finish line. So
yeah, so I'm not going to pick FFL like I've said before. I just not something I do in Supercross. I do it outdoors, but not in Supercross.
Yeah.
Pretty much, if I were to, I would pick Craig, and I'd probably pick Eli. Craig, Eli, or Sexton at this point. Like, I mean, once again, we're kind of it's crazy. We're only 6 rounds in, but we kind of have an understanding of where guys are settling into their roles now.
Yeah.
And like, I think that's just where we're at this point. Like, I think with the picks, it's kind of a safe bet to pick one of those 3 dudes. I mean, it's crazy to think that Eli Tomac is going to be a guy that you would roll the dice on being the first lap leader. But with the way he rode at Glendale for 3 mains in a row, it's hard to bet against that. Craig, yeah, there's a long set of whoops before we can get to the finish line. Fucking Craig's guarantee he's going to be the first lap leader.
Oh, there's going to be carnage in those whoops because it's literally just like start straight away, flat straight away, whoop section. So,
well, Craig's probably fucking rubbing his hands together going, oh, boys, y'all are fucked.
Oh, yeah. So, all right, one more thing before we wrap this up here. I just wanted to take a moment to shit on your chest the way you are shitting on the chest of the show here by not being committed.
Okay.
The Vince Freezy incident last weekend, just wanted to let you know, Stu agrees with me. Racing incident. So suck it.
What? What are you talking about? James Stewart?
James Stewart.
Said it was a racing incident.
Racing incident.
It's not, I don't care if James says that. Fucking 99 of the other % people, Ricky Carmichael said otherwise. So, like, it's not a racing incident.
Stu is your god. So I'm just going to take this moment.
Stu is my boy, but it doesn't mean I have to agree with him all the time.
I'm just going to take this moment to shit on your chest like you shit on the chest of the show all the time. And just
that's fine, man. But I totally disagree with my boy.
Also, Grant Langston said racing incident. So here we are. I am not alone.
Ricky Carmichael said otherwise. Mic drop. He wins. Game over.
Don't care. Grant Langston and Stu. Stu is
Ricky Carmichael,
fantastic.
15-time champion, greatest of all time.
And James
He says
Stewart.
otherwise.
James Stewart is James Stewart.
Ricky Carmichael is Ricky Carmichael. What's your point? We can do this all day long.
Stu beat Ricky.
Ricky also beat him for every championship they raced in other than one, so
Stu-
I don't care.
Stu is the fastest man ever.
Carmichael has more titles and wins.
Don't care.
You should care because that's kind of what we base life off of.
Does Carmichael have more Supercross wins than Stu?
He has more championships than Stu.
I didn't ask about that. That was not the question. Look, don't act like
He
my
also
7-year-old.
retired. He also retired a lot earlier than Stu.
That
He
was
also
not
retired
the
a lot
question.
earlier than Stu.
In a court of
He also
law,
retired a lot earlier.
you would be held in contempt of court. Does Stu have more Supercross wins than Ricky?
He has like 2 more.
Okay,
Which
great.
point?
More is more.
Who has more titles?
Look,
Who has more wins?
Stu agreed with me. Racing incident. Everyone should just move
not a
on.
racing incident.
Everyone should just move on.
I moved on right after I said that what Vince did was just Vince being fucking stupid.
Well, that's true too. Did you see his interview on Swap?
No, I don't fucking watch that shit.
I don't usually watch anything at Swap either. Not that I don't like those guys. I don't ever have time to do it. It doesn't seem like there's a lot going on upstairs.
What do you mean? Like his intelligence?
I mean, yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah, and it's very slow, and it doesn't seem like there's a lot of processing power happening.
Well,
and it explains exactly what we saw on Saturday.
You got to remember he's from Cape Girardeau, Missouri. So, yeah, that's all I got to say.
Racing incident. God, it's good to be right. The fucking rookie.
So glad Ricky Carmichael, the greatest guy to ever throw a leg over a dirt bike, agrees with me. Jesus Christ, that is so good.
The fucking rookie just taking you fucking vets to the fucking cleaner with his takes.
Man.
Just fucking.
You want me to try to get a hold of Ricky on Instagram or Twitter or whatever and see what he thinks about that and see what he has to say?
It's hard being this right all the time, but I manage.
I would love to see you try to argue with Ricky Carmichael whether him or James Stewart's opinion matters more.
Hey, on a positive note, you're only 21 points behind me now. In the league.
I know. I've fucking been making up a lot of points on your ass.
You are getting close. I'm gonna have to pick up my game here a little bit. Now on another.
Yeah, you have another one of the weekends. You have another weekend like that in Glendale, and I have my weekend. I'll be past your ass, and Jesus Christ, that didn't take long.
Yeah, okay, bud. Let's just calm her down here. We got 12 more rounds to go. Okay.
Well, I know, but dude, look how far I was behind from you after the first round.
My consistency will prevail.
I'm not being consistent.
I'm going to shit all over your chest with this championship, much like I'm shitting all over your chest right now with this whole take on the Vince Freeze being a racing incident.
Yeah, I'm going to call up Ricky. I'm going to get a hold of Ricky and be like, hey, man, I just need you to, tell my boy how right I am, that you're wrong. And then it'll be like, done deal. I'll send him $10 because we know he needs a first cocaine addiction. And he'll be like, sure, cool.
Look, just add him to the group chat. No problem.
Okay, so the last thing I'll say before we get off this phone call, did you see that my boy Jamar is now doing his own vlogs?
Yeah, duh. That was 2 weeks ago. God, where have you been?
I know. I watched them 2 weeks ago. I didn't know that you
too.
I didn't know that you knew. Oh, they're fucking great. He just had one drop today where Genie was out there.
Don't tell me about it. I got to watch it in the morning.
Look, bro. All I'm saying is he's only done 2. They're already better than Big Al's.
Oh, dude, but Al's are about to get real good because Phil is about to be there every week. Oh God, it's gonna be so awesome.
I just like how every chance Germ and Breyer just shit all over Troll.
Well, duh.
But Breyer, that's Breyer's boy. Amart is Breyer's boy, and he still fucking shits on him all the time. I like how J Martin, the first one, goes, yeah, man, when I saw him fucking hit the concrete, I didn't think he should have got up that quickly.
Yeah, no, dude, it was pretty good. It was pretty good.
Oh, I love it. Tell you what, though, man, he looks good, and so does my boy Levi Kitchen.
Yeah, we'll see how the chef does, man. We'll see how the chef does. Oh, yeah, that's right. We're supposed to talk about that this weekend, too. But you're just going to shit all over the show like an asshole.
All right, man. That's 15. That's 15 times now. I said 10 max. It's 15
because you are not committed. It's okay. It's no problem. Some of
Kind
us
of sounds like when your boy Jet Lawrence ran out of talent when he crashed.
Oh, have you seen the new video of him doing the quad?
No.
Oh, it's fucking huge. He does this huge quad, and on top of it, on the way down, I don't know what he does, if he why he throws his hand off, but he's like about to land, and he like throws a one-hander, and I don't know if he fender slaps or what the fuck he does, but dude, he does this huge quad, and it's fucking glorious.
All I will say is if he does not win Minneapolis, people are going to melt down.
Yeah, I think it'll be fine.
No. I like how Levi Kitchen, though, told Mathis to suck his balls like 3 different times. Yeah,
man.
You'll see that.
Yeah, man, that's old news. Romano's already told Steve that, too. It's fine.
Well, Steve's a douche.
Well, he might be, but he's got a house that's about the same square footage as the last one, but the cubic footage is way more.
Listen, he can suck my balls.
Although I think Hopper's house is bigger.
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, me neither. Didn't get that answer out of Kev. I should call him and ask.
Yeah, you should definitely find out about your brother.
Dude, we're tight, bro. We're tight.
That's cool, man.
Team,
Good for you.
team tight. Oh, that's what we got to do. Team tight. Moto Aftermath show and fucking Hopper. Yes.
Oh, my God.
Team tight, bro.
Whatever, man.
Team tight.
Whatever,
T-I-T-E, tight. All right, man. Well, hey.
Okay.
Let me know about Sunday if you're going to come in and do a race recap in the morning or something. If not, I will definitely make about 27 references to you shitting all over the chest of the show, even though the show is always here for you. And, yeah.
Whatever you do, don't make those references while you have Brees or Kev on the phone, because that'll just sound really fucking weird.
I totally will with Kev. I will tell him how you just
Kev,
shit.
yeah, maybe. Kev will find it funny, but if you say that to Brees is going to be like, I am never coming back on the show
I
ever
might
again.
say to him, too. I don't care. Like, I'm not really scared to say much to anybody.
Look, man, nobody said you're scared. Neither am I. But you want him to be a repetitive person, and if he just thinks like we're a bunch of fucking weirdos, he's never going to come back on.
Look, the catch line of the show on Sunday is going to be Justin shits on the chest of the show hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it's going to be. So, all right.
Okay.
Well, we've dicked around long enough. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Another episode of the Moto Aftermath Show, Fantasy Supercross Show. Thanks to our sponsors. Links in the description down below. Make sure to join the league. Make sure to play. Congratulations to our winners. And we will see everyone next week to wrap up A3. Later.
See you.